Congressman Robert Underwood. It's like
yeah.
you bring in people who have done the job, and you get their perspective on it. It's pretty basic. 902, let's keep it on the phones here, and we want to go to Tamuning-Tumon-Harmon with Mayor Louise Rivera. Good morning, Mayor.
Hi, Mayor.
Day, good morning, Sabrina and Chris.
How are you? It's
Wonderful.
busy over there, tuning?
Oh, yeah, well, I was just out there. Again, our concern has been in regards to the homeless.
Right, and so we wanted to just jump right on with you, and I know we want to talk about reopenings, but first let's go into the weeds on this homeless issue. As, the homeless shelter, the COVID-19 homeless shelter, seems to me dead in the water. I mean, they had a plan to put them at Paseo. The homeless advocates, didn't agree with it. I heard the feds also didn't agree with it. They pulled the plug on that, and the update that we got was basically that there's no update. And I just don't understand.
You got an update?
Yeah, I mean, it's just it's not a priority. Clearly, it's not a priority to house the homeless. And so, Mayor, I want to throw up these pictures. We have the pictures? Okay, so we're going to throw up these pictures and just tell us your stance on this and the situation in Tamuning-Tumon-Harmon with the homeless. Mayor?
Yes.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, well, are the pictures, I'm not seeing the pictures.
Go ahead, we got it. You just worry about you.
Okay, well, again, I came across another individual who was, I was made aware that she was homeless just recently, and she's a senior citizen.
Oh, no.
And so, other people, from around the neighborhood were coming out and asking me, "Oh, Mayor, what are we gonna do? Where are we gonna bring her to? I don't have room in my house." A lot of people want to help. And it's just that there's no room in their homes, and like even with me myself, I'm the mayor. They want me to house her in my house. I don't, I don't have enough room, or I have other people living there, and so where's the place that we can bring them to? And so I reached out to social workers. I reached out to our president of the mayor's council last night, and she said that she was going to help me contact people, and so we just need a good place for for some to go to. I mean I know that there have been the ones that we had to deal with that have been over drinking or can't handle their alcohol and stuff like that, but there are a lot of good people and just fall into unfortunate situations. That is what I've been asking the governor for. Where can they go? Where can they go to make sure that they have proper hygiene? So, a lot of times we question these people that are out there panhandling. What are you doing out there? You're not supposed to be out in the median. You don't know if someone's going to pass you something that's going to make you sick. We just don't know. And so we want to keep everyone safe. And, they turn around and say, well, I have to fend for myself. I have to make a living. I need to buy a mask or buy food. So now I'm reaching out to all of them that, I'm picking up grab and go from JFK every day. Every day I am up there, Monday through Friday, by 10 o'clock, I'm picking up food and going around passing it out to people. And so, it's just that they need a place to go. And then they had turned off the water at EPAL. I don't know if it's back on, because that was one of my concerns. The last time we had a meeting, I didn't even recall how long ago that was. It's just been so long ago. And the water was turned off down there. So, a lot of the elderly that sleep in their car because they have no place, no home to sleep in, they'll sleep in a car by a business that has a security guard. Those that are concerned about their safety, but they're saying, gosh, why did they turn off the water there? That's where I go to shower, and then, they go and try to apply for assistance or look for help and stuff, and they just don't have a place to shower. So, they asked me, can we turn on our water? Can we shower in the gym? And our gym is supposed to be closed, So,
when is the last time, I'm sorry that because I think when we spoke last, you'd spoken to, I think it was the governor, about the homeless situation. Has there been any conversations the mayors have had since I want to say it was like 3-4 weeks ago.
No, they did not have one outright with the mayors at all. I had called my executive director, Angel Sablon, in regards to it, and he was the one that invited me to listen in on, they had a meeting in regards to the shelter. So that was the Thursday. They were supposed to open May 2nd. So
Right.
Thursday, they didn't come to any conclusion. I was listening to what they're saying. They don't have enough nurses. And then they reconvened the meeting till Friday the next day. Then Friday, the meeting was moved to 5 o'clock. Then all of a sudden, it's canceled. I was like, what? So, what's going to happen? I mean, all this planning that's been going on and still nothing. And that same Saturday, we also had, there was an outreach we had at Hemlani's apartment. There was, a lot of other things going on, and they're saying they don't have enough nurses. There was so many nurses up there at Hemlani's, and, I felt bad because in the beginning of it, a lot of the residents were not coming out. And it's like I think I don't know. People are scared to be tested because if they're found positive, then they're going to be quarantined, and they don't want to be quarantined. It was and then there's people from all over that are calling, and we just tell them, you can be tested. You go to the health centers, but right now our issue is with the homeless, and the shelters are full. The ones that we're finding after hours, there's no place to call. Or
how many homeless people do you estimate are in Tamuning, and Harmon?
Oh my goodness, there are so many that are squatting in private properties, abandoned buildings.
Abandoned parking lot structure down there in Tumon. Mayor, have you seen an increase in the number of people on the streets since the start of the COVID-19 pandemic?
Unfortunately, yes. And they're saying that, but they're not supposed, people are saying that they're not supposed to be kicked out during this time. They can get in trouble. The landlord, will get in trouble. But, sometimes it's just, it's a different circumstance where, the partner is the problem, right. And then or one member of the family is the problem, and then it gets everybody kicked out, and so that's what we're facing. And like I said, just last night I've had to take care of a senior citizen. She's here in the park now, waiting for social workers to come over. But she had no place to go, and so a lot of times we look for sponsorship who can sponsor a room for the night, but it's just hard, and it's sometimes people are saying, "Gosh, Louise, how can you ask me? That we're all going through hard times." I'm just looking for those that if you have extra, you have enough that you can. Just like to help pay. Other than that, everyone's wondering why am I always broke. But we do what we can to help out. The best that we can.
Mayor, are you disappointed with the reaction from this administration in terms of handling the housing of the homeless? Because it's been a lot of talk since the beginning of this COVID pandemic, and thoughts of action.
Well, we're still looking and hoping and praying that, they will come up with something, because my goodness, all the great minds that are together, every time we call, even the homeless have called down there, they did their answers. We're still planning, Mayor, we're still planning, and really, where's the plan? It's been too long.
At this point, I'm pretty sure Pacific Star is looking like a good option.
Well, that's what the comments that were given to me is like, hey, put them up at the Pacific Star. There's room, and it's being paid for, so our tax-paying dollars. So if there's room, have them bunk up there with somebody. Just to like I said, just for emergency purposes. For the night. I don't want to.
I just don't know why we're talking about this, and there's no one from the administration who's out in front of it. You know what I mean? It's like No one is handling this. You have to go and find somebody to talk about it, and I just
Nobody
don't know
wants to talk about
why
it.
isn't the administration part of this conversation? I mean, are we the only ones who give a damn about the homeless out here, or what?
Oh boy, at least somebody does. I mean, we're like I said, we're gonna continue to reach out. I'm just following my chain of command, and like I said, I brought it to the attention of our president and our executive director, and he's, they're the ones who call for the meetings, with the administration. So again, I'm very blessed with a lot of good residents and community businesses around, but they also take the toll up on them, because a lot of times there's people sleeping out on their benches in front of the business, and it's just sad. They're staying over there because that's where there's a security guard.
Right.
Yeah, but they shouldn't be there. We should have a safe place. And I was glad to see on the revenues that are coming into Guam, the money. I mean that there was $250,000 put for a shelter. I mean let's put use to it. Where's that plan?
Well, thank you, Mayor. I'm so frustrated right now. But I thank you. I mean, and I reached out to you last night. It's funny because I was thinking like, hey, let's get Mayor Rivera on. GPO reopened.
Businesses, everything.
And here I was like, let me bring you on. We talk about traffic in your village, and your response was, can we talk about the homeless shelter? I was like, oh, yes, totally, please. Because you know what's happening, Mayor, is the people who are in the homeless coalition are being bullied. They're scared to come out and say things because the hit back from the administration is so hard. And a lot of these people who work in the homeless coalition, they're also working for the government or whatever. You know what I mean? So even they have been silenced. They're speaking up in the meetings, but the public face and the public reaction is just not there because they're being put in this position where it's like, oh, you want to talk about
So you talk
the
about
homeless?
media being censored, huh?
Yeah, that's crazy.
I hear you. If if you guys, feel like you have time or whatever, just come and have a seat here in our park and enjoy the sun, the sunshine, and talk with them. Talk with them and see what help they're getting. I mean, every day I check with them. Have you guys applied? Have you done? Has the administration, anyone come and talk to you or try to help you? Find a place, and they're like, no one has come and checked on us, and so I always to let them know that we have food here every day. I'm picking up food if you guys want milk or nutritionists. Yeah,
speaking of food, Mayor, I want to share this thing with you that I got from the administration. You're talking about food and the homeless. And where is this thing at, Bree?
I had it up because I was ready to talk about it.
You was ready to go on that, huh?
Yeah, because it kind of pissed me off.
Yeah, so we had sent a FOIA about the meals that are being provided. Hold on, Mayor. Patience, please. Yeah, so this is the FOIA we sent. FOIA request for any and all correspondence and documents relative to negotiations, invoices, and or payments made relative to meals and or meal services for Government of Guam agencies, quarantine and isolation facilities, and the Office of the Governor during the COVID-19 pandemic public health emergency. When you write a FOIA, Mayor, you got to put like everything in there. Make sure all your bases, because they'll hide stuff. They will. It's just the reality. And then they'll say like, oh, you didn't ask in the FOIA. Well, if you're trying to be transparent, just tell us. So anyway, so this is an email. Sir, we're going to pop that up when I sent you? Okay. So it's an email from the governor's legal counsel, Hai-Hun, to Charles Esteves, who is the administrator for the Office of Civil Defense. It says, Charles, I'm connecting you with Joe Atalig, who has been provided food services below. Breakfast, lunch, dinner, skilled nursing facility, 19 per shift times 2 shifts. Quarantine facility 1, the Wyndham, 10 meals. Quarantine facility 2, Days Inn, 15. Quarantine facility 3, Santa Fe, 12. Office of the Governor.
OOG.
Yeah, it's funny because it says OOG. 20 meals. And then the governor's legal counsel further writes, This was arranged early on when as a need for the emergency. Mr. Atalik has been trying to send us a contract, and his point of contact has been Rebecca Respicio. He will be trying to reach you.
What's the date on this?
And this is on April 22nd. So the response from Civil Defense Administrator Charles Estevez, Day Joey, please send me a copy of the contract and food services provided to date with the invoice. Thank you. So there's no contract. Also, I asked Adelup Policy Director Carlo Branch about this. Here's the questions I asked. Can you clarify who these meals are for? Also, is there a contract or invoices you can provide, as well as the duration of service and purchase orders? The response from the Policy Director, my understanding is that the meals were provided to quarantine facility staff in the amount and duration listed. I do know that the Office of the Governor was removed from prior to the execution, and we agreed to pay for that individually. And also SNU nursing and other staff, as I recall. And so he basically said that the meals that on paper were being provided to the governor's office are actually being paid for with private funds out of pocket. But you know, in my FOIA request, I said, hey, give me all documents to include the Office of the Governor that involve negotiations of meals and meal services. However, I didn't get anything in black and white that says that the Office of the Governor is paying for their meals out of their own pocket. But what we do have in black and white is that they're being provided 20 meals. But to be fair, the Policy Director said, no, we're paying that out of pocket, so we'll just take his word for it.
No.
Oh, but we're going to send another FOIA.
Well, Chris, you know...
And I just want to say, Mayor, I mean, does it bother you that we got these directors, these deputy directors, who are already making, at the bare minimum, $65,000 upwards to, $90,000? Okay, so they're making that awesome salary. On top of that, they're making the 15% COVID differential pay. On top of that, as if that wasn't enough, we're now providing catered meals.
Conversation about it.
We're giving these guys catered meals.
Are we?
Well,
it makes no sense.
We're not even feeding
talking
the homeless.
about, yeah, exactly. Let's give them breakfast, lunch, and dinner, but we're not talking about an email. So how are we going to feed the homeless people?
I mean, it's like you guys are taking care of yourselves. Obviously, that's the priority, while the homeless are just hung out to dry.
Okay.
While the local people were told to go apply for food stamps. Well, and it looks like the staffers at these quarantine facilities are eating pretty good. And they're making 15% COVID differential pay, and they're making what some would say is inflated salaries. So it looks like they got a pretty sweet deal.
I just want to let you guys know that Windham has been calling us to, pick up the food. I guess that their leftovers, that are still good. Like last night's dinner, they'll call us to see if we want to give it to people who need it. So, so that...
I think that's because they don't have a lot of people who are in that facility, right?
Yeah.
So, they've been really good.
It's still being used as a quarantine facility?
Windham, yes.
Mm-hmm.
That's where we pick up plates. They
Right.
have leftovers from last night that are still good. They keep it chilled and all that so that we can reheat it and give food to those
Well, that's good.
who need it.
That's good. I'm not sure why we're paying for meals. I mean, so many meals and nobody's eating them. But I'm so glad that they're giving them to you so you can go get them to people who need them.
Good job, Wyndham.
And you know what's crazy in all this is I believe that the Treasury Act guidance for the CARES Act funds allows for things like feedings and food assistance.
Mm-hmm. I mean, why aren't we feeding GPD, GFD?
Mayor,
what the hell?
It's like we have this emergency procurement, and the governor's legal counsel, obviously, and looking at all of the emails, has so much authority to go out and do things quickly. And one of the first things you're going to do quickly is feed the directors and the deputy directors. I mean, that's the priority, to get 20 meals over to the office of the governor.
Yeah, I hear ya. But, I am not seeing exactly where, that's all going.
With no contract, no invoice, no purchase order, no nothing.
I just need a place to tell people where they can go to be safe.
Mayor's like, yeah, I know, but I just need somewhere for these homeless.
Yeah.
While you're eating your catered meal, can you just kind of think about the homeless? Mayor, thank you.
Thank
Appreciate
you,
your
Chris and
time.
Sabrina. Enjoy
All
your
right.
day.
We'll try to.
Okay. Take care.
I'm really wishing I brought my wand today because I feel like this is a wand day.
Okay.
Thank you, Mayor.
Okay, you're welcome.
Wash your hands.
All right, be
and
safe.
thank you so much for your concern and your compassion for the homeless. Okay, I hope it's infectious.
Thank you. Okay.
Thank
All
you.
right, bye.
Bye. 922. Yeah, I just wanted to share that with you guys here on the show. I mean, when you talk about the public health emergency powers, that's the power. That's what it's for. To feed the staff that's already getting 15. What? They cannot spend a single dollar of their own money to take care of themselves.
But you got to take Carlo's word that they're paying for it themselves.
Right, and I mean, you know,
I don't think so.
so
After all the stuff we've seen and all these
all
emails,
the double backs.
I
yeah,
cannot.
yeah. I mean, I just want to see it in black and white. You know, that's all. 923. We'll take a little break, and we're going to come back with FEMA Frank. Also, we're going to talk. You okay over there?
No. Are you okay? No,
No,
I'm trying to
just
like
so frustrated. It's
exercise some restraint.
just- right. It's just frustrating.
Because the words aren't proper for me to say over
Yeah,
here.
it is. Man. And I mean, if it affects us this way, can you imagine the people out there who it's really affecting? 923. So we'll take a break, and we're going to get Robert Koss on to talk about these nurses who are getting the shaft. How's that? How's that? You got directors and deputy directors eating like kings with catered meals, yet we can't even pay the nurses and the doctors, the true frontliners. The true frontliners. We can't even pay them the pay that they deserve. And you're going to tell me that we can't afford double pay, but we can afford to cater meals for
Breakfast,
the cabinet?
lunch, and dinner.
Not even lunch. I mean, all right. That's 924. Guam's favorite. Containing COVID. Good morning.
Banners, post.
Keeping you informed, KUAM News brings you Banking 671, brought to you by the Bank of Guam, the People's Bank, and